We are back on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio, News Talk, 1180. And we're back with one of the good guys in our county, or I should say good girls in our county, Wendy Porter from the Wounded Heroes Fund, the Executive Director. Wendy, welcome to Taking Care of Business.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Wendy, first of all, thank you from all of us veterans, for the incredible work that you do. You just do a fantastic job, you and your husband, Mike, and we really appreciate you and the ministry you have and the job that you do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it's not just me. We've got a great group of volunteers that get all the actual hard work done. So, it's a good group of people doing some good things. I'm very proud to be part of it.
Tell any of our listeners who don't know what the Wounded Heroes Fund does, what you do.
Well, basically, when we have military, armed services guys and women, if they've been wounded and they come back home to Kern County, we are there for them to help with whatever they need to get readjusted back into civilian life, to recover from their injuries, and to help, support them, and most importantly, to their families. So I guess we kind of call it a fill in the gap. If they need, they're waiting for their benefits to kick in and they need a car payment made or a house payment made, we help with that. We help with transportation for family members to get to those hospitals to be with them while they're recovering. We help them, whatever they need, we can help with.
Now, this is a Kern County group, because there's also a national association, but we want people to know this is for Kern County veterans, correct?
Well, correct, and actually there isn't. We are the one and only Wounded Heroes Fund, There's no other Wounded Heroes Fund, only the one here in Kern County. And the money that we raise stays here locally, taking care of the wounded veterans and their families.
But isn't there an organization called Wounded Heroes?
No, there's Wounded Warriors.
Oh, okay, that's the difference.
Wounded Warriors, which they're international. They're all over the place, and they were started, I believe, by 2 Marines a few years ago, and they're a great organization. But as far as Wounded Heroes Fund, we are the one and only.
Now, you had 2 gentlemen that are riding bicycles across the country. Can you tell us about them and who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing it?
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremy Stott, who is a Marine Iraqi war veteran and also played in the NFL. And then Wesley Leon Barrientos, who is a double amputee. He was in the Army, injured in Iraq. I think he has 3 Purple Hearts. And we were able to help him and his family when he was recovering. And then we also got to partner and help build him a home here in Bakersfield. And now both of these guys are board members for the Wounded Heroes Fund. And they are riding bicycles across the country. They started here in Bakersfield, and they're hoping to arrive on Memorial Day in D.C. at the Vietnam Wall. And they are just trying to raise awareness for veterans and veterans' needs and causes, a more efficient VA system, and to bridge the gap between the Vietnam veterans and the combat veterans of today. So,
now Wendy,
cool.
They're ahead of schedule, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're maybe a day or two. They're not a whole lot. I know they had one day where they couldn't ride because of fog, so they're pretty close to their schedule. They're over halfway. I got to go see them a couple weeks ago. They were in Oklahoma City, so I got to go back there and spend a few hours with them, and they look great. They're doing great. They're a little worn out, which is understandable. But they're still 100% for the cause. Their hearts are still, doing what they're doing, and they're not going to stop until they arrive at Washington, D.C. So,
now, Wesley, you said he was a double amputee, but what people may not know is he lost both of his legs, so he's actually riding a bicycle by using a hand crank, which is really tough.
Yes, yeah, he is riding basically his bicycle using his arms, and I will tell you, when I saw him when they left and then saw him a couple weeks ago, his arms and shoulders are considerably bigger. They are really changing shape, boy, let me tell you. He's really, it's amazing what he is accomplishing. It's just amazing.
You can see that in the pictures too, with the bike jersey. It's fitting a little bit differently.
So exactly.
We're having a conversation with Wendy Porter, Executive Director of the Wounded Heroes Fund.
So Jeremy's been sitting on a bike. Is he showing a little big sign for sitting?
I'm not going to even go there. I won't even say anything because I love Jeremy, but,
Well, as you know, I did a lot of bike riding, and my doctor has me off the bike for about 2 months, so I'm not feeling that very well, but oh well. But anyway, speaking of events, you have an event coming up.
We do. In 2 Saturdays, April 28th, we're having our 4th annual Salute to Our Local Heroes. It's out at Cal State Bakersfield's Outdoor Amphitheater, and it's just basically a huge appreciation to our military. Celebrating our active duty, our reservists, our veterans, and just, trying to get the community together to tell them thank you to them and to the military and their families.
Mm-hmm. How can people buy tickets and find out more information about the event?
They can either go to valleytix.com or call their phone number, or they can call the Wounded Heroes Fund office at 328-8600.
That's 328-8600. We've been giving out phone numbers all morning, so.
Now, Wendy, are you heading back to Washington to greet the guys?
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it. I've been with them the whole way when they first started talking about this idea and raising money and getting started, and so we definitely, a whole group of us from Wounded Heroes Fund are going to travel back there and be there in D.C. when they ride their bikes up to the Vietnam Wall. And then 2 days later, on the 30th, we're all going to come together and do a barbecue at the Bethesda Walter Reed Hospital and feed all the wounded warriors and their families and the staff taking care of them.
Wow.
So kind of 2 different things going on there.
Marty and I were planning on going back, but I'll tell you, trying to find a room is tough back there. Fortunately, I have some friends in the area, so that helped us out quite a bit.
Well, I can, if you want to call me later, I can give you an update of where the Wounded Heroes Fund is staying, and I think there are still some more rooms available. So
we're actually interested in the barbecue.
Absolutely. The food is going to be, Mayor Brown from Cafe Med and Sonny Cruz from Mexicali. They do all the cooking at all of our events. So they'll be preparing the meal at our event on April 28th, and they will also be preparing that barbecue back there in Bethesda. So, the food is going to be great.
Well, and whenever it comes to food, you have Clay's attention, so.
Mine too.
Especially if it's got no onions. That's what people know me by, no onions.
Well, see, but Wendy, it looks much better on you than it does on Clay, I have to say.
I appreciate that.
Actually, we're going to be at this event that you're having on the 28th. We're going to have a little booth to get signatures for Sergeant Bergdahl, who's our POW in Afghanistan. And we've got a petition going that we're going to send to Congress and possibly to President Obama.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get a lot of signatures and get that gentleman home.
Mm-hmm. He's been there for 3 years in Afghanistan.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It's
and unacceptable.
It'd be nice to get a lot of our veterans home.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So that phone number again is 328-8600. 328-8600, and it's Valley Tex. And where's the event going to be again?
It's at the Cal State Bakersfield at their outdoor amphitheater.
Okay, fantastic. And do you have Jeremy and Wesley's website in case somebody wants to donate to them? Because I guess, this is a very costly thing that they're doing, and I know, at this stage of the game, they're to the point where, they're needing some additional funds if anybody has anything available.
Right. Well, I think they have, it's the Jeremy Stott Foundation.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's the wall-to-wall-bicycle-ride.com.
Yes, yeah. Greg, our producer, is shaking his head. Yes, that's it. So if somebody's inclined, those are 2 great organizations you can donate to Jeremy and Wesley's ride, and to the Wounded Heroes Fund. And as Wendy mentioned, all that money stays here locally in town, and it benefits our veterans here in Kern County.
What time do you start on the 28th, Wendy?
The gates are going to open. We're going to start right at 4:00. We have 6 bands that are going to be playing. They're listed on our website. It's two out of L.A., Von Cotton, of course, who's traveled with the USO, and Cynthia Gibbs, and then we've got Shades of Grey, The Majestics, oh my gosh, Maro Viscara, and there's one more I can't remember. That's horrible. But it's all local, pretty much all local talent. Except, we have the Army, active duty Army, and it's called the First to Go Band. So
Great.
It's a group of all active duty Army, and they are going to be performing for us also.
Fantastic, Wendy. That's about all the time we have, and thank you so much for what you do.
You're welcome.
Okay,
You're welcome.
We'll be back in 167 hours on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio News Talk 1180.